Hello, hello. Hello, Game Data. Hello, JC Crypto. Hello, MW Hawax. Hell, hey, hey. How's everybody doing today? It's Big Chonis. Talking to you live, talking some Bitcoin. All right. Hot out there, isn't it? Is it hot where you live? It's hot where I live. Summer has been relentless. Hello, Aldemir. Hello, eCrypto. All right, let's get the party started. Hey guys, my name is BigChonis. You guys can follow me on Twitter. I'm at BigChonis. These are all my best ideas. I take technical analysis very seriously. I'm a crypto trader, a mentor, a chart psychologist, an investor, photographer, and a chef. Guys, please do your own research. Real quick here, the shilling. Just want to remind you, I am on until1million.com/TA packages to check out the Chonis package. You guys can start with the bull or the bear package. Remember to use affiliate code at BigChonis. And I'm also taking on new students for my mentoring that I am continuing into September. So if you guys have any interest in this, please DM me or send me an email at bigchonis@gmail.com. All right, so before we get in the chart, I actually just want to take a look at some numbers here, and I want to take a look at our historical data and get kind of a recap of where we are and what kind of volume we're looking at right now. So currently there are 1,901 cryptocurrencies traded on 13,607 markets, a market cap of 227 billion. That's entirely all crypto. About 13 billion in volume past 24 hours, and Bitcoin dominance at 53%, and I would consider that holding. We've been 52, we've been 54, 55, I think, but we've basically been holding plus 50 with a couple percent here and there. Now, yesterday we actually did put in about $4.5 billion. Not bad considering most of the end of August we were in a $3 billion area, and this current 24 hours we put in about 4.3. So, over 4. Okay, I'll take it. Bitcoin's market cap 120 billion. And that's up from 118 and actually up from 109, where we actually bottomed in this current, 108 on this current bottoming we had on August 21st, potentially kind of signalizing, that short-term bottom there. So now that we have that out of the way, let's take a look at our chart. And I literally put out one of my quick videos, 20 minutes ago, half hour ago, talking about I was short-term bearish and I was looking for some sort of a retest initially of our MA200, and that's pretty close there. I was looking for this area to hold. Because what we were wanting to see, this reset of our bullish move from yesterday, and more importantly, how much we actually rejected on this yellow line here. Now, what is this yellow line here? If you go back here and look at where we topped off, back in 8,500 here, and then back here around 8,200, and we just draw just a straight line, but a line from that resistance to that resistance, and it touches exactly where we topped off yesterday. And if you take our bottom support, which has basically held here and here and here and all the way up through here and here and here, we're wedging and we're coming close to an apex in this. I call it a wedge, but I guess it really is more of a triangle, just because of how symmetric our lines are. So we're getting very tight once again in this area, potentially symbolizing, where we could take our next move higher or lower here. Now, a couple things to note. This has been a very good move here, and a lot of our EMAs or MAs have acted as support here and here. And then we broke really bullish here, and we kind of left our supports behind. So they've been coming up slowly. Now, my EMAs I like to use are my 12, my 26, and my 55. And look at that. Our 12 held, initially for one candle. This was our 4 hour, and now is actually acting as resistance. So I am looking for this resistance to currently hold here and see how it goes. Now we do have a nice lower wick and our current 4 hour candle, which is only 20 minutes into it. So even though we have a nice wick here being bought up, there's nothing I can really see into this just because the candle just started. You just can't make a very plausible move on this. But what we want to see, if this is really going to remain very bullish, is a nice tweezer here and then a push higher. This still has 4 hours to play out, this current candle, so we got to watch, we'll see what happens there. But if our EMA 12 continues to put in some very strong resistance there, then I am looking for a real touch of our MA 200. And then our middle Bollinger, which look at their touching right there, right around 68.85, also basically coincides with our lower our lower support line here. So that is interesting as well. Let's look at our other indicators here. So our stochastic, will start with that, clearly resetting after topping off here. Now, the past couple times here when we were resetting, we got to about 16, and then we actually put in a higher low here. So if we're going to keep that trend up, I'd like to actually see this area here kind of hold support right where our blue line is here now, and start to kind of potentially turn around bullish, corresponding with putting in higher lows here. That would be encouraging. And currently our blue line here, which is our leading indicator, it's the one that will come down first or go up first, really spread out from our red one here. So we got to wait for this to catch up, looking for some stability here to keep this trend going here. So again, if the bulls can step in, we can keep this higher low alive. If not, we can definitely reset lower. Looking here at our RSI channel, now this has been pretty accurate here. We actually didn't get as high as I wanted to get our final rejection of our price here before we actually broke bearish. We're not able to hold our center line and are kind of crocked right there. So I'm looking for this. Pull it out a little bit there. So if we go lower, we know where we can find our support. Now, ever since we touched our line here, we've actually been putting in some higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. I'd like to see that trend continue, again corresponding with some sort of a turnaround here. But if we're unable to, and if we keep correcting in this 4-hour candle, I definitely would like to see somewhat of a test and a hold of this area. Our MACD remains bullish, but it's funny, about a half hour ago this had not crossed, and now it has crossed. So we basically crossed, and this is the 4 hours, so completed the cross of that bearish cross here. We'll see if it plays out or if it can actually pull itself out. Remember, we are in the positive here, which is very encouraging after being underwater for all of August until we kind of broke out here about halfway through. And I want to bring up our histogram here because we put in a double peak and a higher peak. I do like to see that, but we don't really get those double peaks very often on our Green Mountain. Here's one here, here's one here, and when we do, they're only just a 2 before we actually come down and correct. So we have a nice peak here. We didn't come all the way. We had another bullish push, put in a higher low there, very nice, and we're coming down here. But this is probably a good area to go up to my daily and talk about this line here, because this is kind of what I see in a larger term perspective here. Now this is my histogram, and this goes all the way back to our bull run of 2017 into 2017 here, and we can see that we're putting in this very tight wedge. I would definitely call this a wedge, and I find this bearish just because look where the apex happens to be. It happens to be in the negative here. Now we have climbed higher here, and we are climbing higher here, and I would like to touch this line here and support this line as major resistance, just as I feel this line here and here and now here is acted as major support. And it's just fascinating to see how when you basically respect where these topped off, both these lines come to a perfect clean point. So that's very cool, and I definitely see this in play as a major resistance here, but a lot more downside we can go to keep within this tight wedge here. Going back to our stochastic on our daily, remember we broke bullish bull cross a couple days ago after being bearish all the way into this part of August. We are currently being rejected though right at our zero line on our leading indicator as our trailing ever so quietly pulls up a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. So we're still in the negative, but a couple encouraging things here. We are putting in higher lows, right? So we like that. And we're putting in our consistent tops here, though, when we top out, okay? So we know what this pattern is here. This is our ascending triangle with a ascending support line and a firm top here. So I'd like to see this kind of continue to move higher, but look at this here. Look at the last time we actually broke bullish here, okay? We were bullish for a while. We made a nice move on the histogram, same as this here, but we actually came back down again and crossed bearish pretty quickly. This was a pretty quick stomp out and comeback down here, and then we kind of had this consolidation period until we actually broke bullish once again and confirmed it here by holding and preventing the bear cross for our next move higher there. Right now we could be doing the same thing where we can find resistance here similar to here and come back down and cross bearish. So if history proves itself, we're going to do something like that one more time, even though we've crossed bullish here, to play this out, and then maybe after we do all that we can move higher. So another test of this support line here is possible, similar to what happened here and then again here, before we're actually able to move higher once again. Looking here at our stochastic, and we topped off, we've crossed bearish. And I like the fact that we were able to come all the way up here. Now on our daily stochastic, we can be up here for several days. July 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So what, 5-6 days we can be up here. We've only been up here 3-4 days, 3-4 days or so. So this doesn't mean that we can have to come all the way back down here now. We can definitely hang out here, do a couple of resets, okay? Because history shows we can definitely be up here. We can even do a very low, high double top here and come down, or we just fall right down there. So we're going to watch this very closely. We have patterns that show both an M top, or just a straight up and down, like an upside down A, or I guess an A top, where you go up and you go down. So, but we're in this upper area here, so you have to ask yourself, okay, if you're bullish, how much more running room do you think you can really have on the price of Bitcoin before we actually reset? Well, let's look at what our RSI is actually telling us here. So we're looking at our RSI. Again, this is my 4-hour channel, but it's still pretty accurate on my daily RSI chart here. Let me just zoom her in a little bit here. Okay, so we're trending higher here. We are above 50, and I always say I like being above 50. That gives us more bullish momentum in our market. I don't want to go below 50. Remember how much of a resistance that was when we first kind of hit it, until we were able to crawl above officially. So this is very good. And if we do break bearish here again on our daily, we can see here again at a little lower support line here. I would like to see that hold. That's very important. Let's see what else we can see here. So we did that. So let's look at our daily chart. Okay, so yesterday, great volume, right? It was a very nice green candle, upper wick, yeah, but our lower wick was basically equal, so I kind of like that. I'm cool with that. And our volume was great because we actually increased there, which was very nice. But look at today's candle, and especially look how it's corresponding to yesterday's candle there. So we have a clear. Let me clean this up just a bit here. This is definitely tweezerish. We're not to the T in terms of where we topped out there, but we're pretty close. I'll give that a good enough that we're putting in right now a pretty decent tweezer rejection. Kind of something that looks like what we have over here. It's kind of something like that. And we're going to see how this plays out, because right now we have a very similar candle where our body is still kind of inside our previous day's body there, which is okay. We are holding support above our 55 EMA, which is great as well. Remember, that has held support for 3 days in a row here, which is good. But we all see all other areas here, our middle BB, and the EMAs I like to use are EMA 26 and 12, are crossing here bullishly almost. This was the day where we were looking to see this confirmation of a bull cross, and we're so close to hitting it, but we're just not there, which means if we really break bearish today, we're not going to bull cross. We're going to continue to reject, and I'll be very curious to see if we can actually follow through with this. This actually may take a little more time here. But on our daily, as long as we're able to hold above our EMA 55, I am liking that. Now remember, our Bollinger Band, we broke it one day, we closed above. We broke it 2 days on the daily Bollinger to close above. It's pretty rare. We did it here just for one day. We did it here for 1, 2, 3 days before we came back inside. So 3 days here, 1 day here, we'll split the difference, and let's just say, okay, it was 2 days that we were outside our upper BB before we are currently being brought inside, as we currently are being brought inside right now. So we expected that because we got a little too ahead of our skis there, and our Bollingers did widen a little bit there. So we were getting tighter here, but this still in our daily is not really very tight. I mean, recent history, sure, but if you want to talk about what it can be really tight, I mean, this is really tight. And that symbolizes kind of a much more, trickling, slower, lower volatility pattern here, which we're not really there yet. We're still very wide here, and I don't see this as any kind of a major trend change. We also can talk about our MA200 here, which has been rejecting our price in this area as well as back here. And once again, we're not even close to it yet. It's just still falling, currently at, oh, look at that, it broke 8,000. So it was above 8,000 for most of August, but now we're actually sub 8,000 here. So currently our daily is not looking that great, but not looking that bad, because we have come back in our upper BB, which we expected. But we do have a tweezer here. We do have a nice bottom wick, so a lot of this bearishness has been bought up a little bit so far through the day, and we're holding above our major EMAs here. So far, so good. Let's go back to our 4-hour here and see what our price is looking like. So once again, we were actually outside our Bollinger for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. Wow. We were pretty tight here. So because we were so tight, we were actually able to be outside for that length of time until we got much wider here. And that's what's brought us back in, pretty significantly. And that's what we see right now. So what are we finding support on? What we actually found resistance on before. And this is what I talked about in my quick video earlier in the day. Resistance MA200, resistance MA200, resistance MA200, bull break. And now we're looking for some sort of a back test. Was this candle our back test? We didn't actually touch it. Came pretty close, 97 to 7. So about $10 off there, But is this our back test? Holding support here, and now we're just going higher here. This bullishness on this current candle is very nice, but we're only a half hour into this 4-hour candle. Let's go a little closer. Let's go to our 1 hour here and see what we can see. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we broke bearish from a very tight Bollinger here. See how wide we were here? See how tight we were here? See how tight we were here? And now, after being very oversold, see, on a 1-hour Bollinger, that's very, very low there. A lot of volume there too. Decent wick, got bought up, and now our second one here is now we're trying to get back into our lower Bollinger on our 1-hour chart, finding support on our EMA 55. That's also very cool as well. So from a scalping standpoint, if again using my indicators there, I would basically be sitting for a nice wick break of my first major support here after these supports fail, which I would expect them to because they're just so close together. So a bear break, scoop up a quick scalp here because we're oversold, knowing that the price action wants to get back inside our Bollinger Band. These are still pretty tight, even though they're opening up slightly here. So we probably have a lot of time here. We're kind of ride around this lower BB until we can either spread these out and allow them to go bearish without being outside them that much there. Okay, let's see what else we can look at here. Let's do a TD count. So we'll go from our hourly up. So we're on a red 4 on our hourly. Go to our 4 hour. We are on a red 2. Remember, this is interesting here. On our 4 hour, we had a 9. We had a 9. We had a perfected 9. It actually was because it closed above all the other ones there, which is interesting. And for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, we were unable to put a count in because they all closed above all of our candles 4 back until here finally we were actually able to close lower than for this candle here. So that made this start a 1, a 2, and now we're on a red 3 count on our 4 hour. That is interesting there because as we went up for 9, we could basically be starting a red 9 count going down, which could mean 6 more 4 hour candles, so 24 hours, so almost a day's more worth of bearishness if we're going to put in a full 9 red going down. Let's look at our 6 hour. We are okay, so we had our red. Sorry, we finished our green 9 cycle there, and now we're putting on our first red candle there. Kind of as expected once you finish a full cycle here. Now we do expect a 1 to 4 candle kind of correction area where it decides if it wants to put in another run or if we're actually doing this cycle here. So I wouldn't really confirm this until we actually have a couple more to choose from. So our 12 hour, same deal, had a perfected 9 there. Now we're just starting. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got to this will take a while. This will take a while to start setting in a red count because of how high we actually ended up there. And our daily, we're on a green 7, so that's interesting as well. Now, we still could go 2 more days. Let's see if this was green 7, so 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we definitely could put in a full green 9 and still close somewhere around $6,700 here. It's because of the 4 candles back, 8, 9. 8, 7, 6. So yeah, we'd have to be somewhere around 7,000 here. Actually, that might close us out on our 8 count if we're not able to get much higher here. So definitely after several days of our nice bullish momentum there, we were able to basically this day find some support. Now you maybe noticed Tether printed another 30 million, not billion, 30 billion again, another Tether print. So are we going to get more liquidity in the market? Potentially. Let's do a quick scan here. Now let's do some comparison shopping, right? Let's do some comparison shopping. Play a little fun here. Let's see if this doesn't crash my computer. Okay, so we'll do Ethereum there, and we'll do Litecoin here. Oh, Litecoin gave it back, didn't it? Close that out, close that out. Okay, so this is our daily chart here. This is our Bitcoin. This is our Ethereum in the middle. And this is our Litecoin here. Let's pull this guy up. Pull this guy up. Come on. Oh, I can hear my computer freaking struggling here. There we go. It's like too much math for this Commodore 64 to handle. All right, so we have, see how much bullish Bitcoin has been. Look how bearish Ethereum has been, and Litecoin was trying to catch up to kind of Bitcoin big brother there with some decent volume yesterday too. This looks less tweezerish. Ethereum looks more bearish engulfing, which is kind of crappy. But notice how the Bollingers on Ethereum are still tightening while Bitcoins are widening and Litecoins are pretty much flat. So Bitcoin is showing the most bullishness. Ether is showing the most bearishness, mostly because I don't feel the tightening has shown the bigger move yet. Which means there is a bigger move in Ethereum still to come. It hasn't had its big move yet. It's almost just trying to gain space and gain a little momentum here from this bearishness that has been kind of what's going on here. Now, Litecoin's a little more encouraging just because of how it is held up and how the tightening of the Bollingers. I mean, I want to say this is a bullish sign here, but this is kind of a 50-50 indecisiveness right here. There's nothing that says this can't break bearish or bullish just because we're so flatlined here, and our upper BB is just slightly trending bearish there, ever so angled lower there. So we'll keep an eye on that. But you see our supports here. Ethereum hasn't even touched my EMA 12, and my EMA 12 failed to hold Litecoin. Looking at our 26 there for more support. So that's interesting. Did I mixed that up? Our EMA 26 was unable to hold support, and our EMA 12 right here looking to hold support. But look at our middle Bollinger 57. So our middle Bollinger I would expect to be a strong support as well. So even while we slightly correct here, if this is just going to be a quick day trend, we are finding that we want to keep it going. For that to happen, we need Bitcoin to close with a nicer candle than kind of what we currently have right now. Now, we can flag from this, okay? We have a good looking flagpole. Let's go back to my singular Bitcoin chart right now. We have a good looking flagpole, okay, put in here. It is okay that we take several days and put some candles in here that can get this kind of a bull flag going, which basically we do an ascending flag where we kind of keep our angle high, or we kind of angle low and then go high. I want to talk a little bit about Fibonacci and where we could potentially set some targets. I'm going to get rid of my TD. I'm kind of hide my Bollingers. I'm going to keep my MAs. And I'm going to hide my volume because we don't need that right now. All right, so let's just talk about a couple things here. Let's start with our retrace and go from there. That's right, I got to do that. Let's pick another chart, shall we? No, that one's not very clean. Should I use this one here? Wow, this is my... All right, I'll show you how I got all to these things here, but that's just kind of what I've been watching there. But let's go to a different, cleaner one. That's fine. We can use this one here. Let's get rid of our resistance, get rid of our support, keep it cool here. Notice, remember I was talking about this cross here. We're so close. Keep an eye on that. All right, so let's talk about a retrace. So let's just say, hypothetically, from our bottom to our top, current top, where are we looking to absolutely hold our support? Okay, now our most bullish support would be a little bit lower than where we are now, 68.38 area. That would be a 0.236, or basically a 23% pullback. Nice support, push higher. 38.2 is a little more conservative, 66.57, okay? Also corresponding with our EMAs, and just this cluster of price history where we were finding resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and then we found support on it and ran these nice two candles here. So the 38 has a lot of history around 66.57. Let's just call it 6666, right? And then from there, we can still go even lower. We can technically go, so here's how we can technically go. And this kind of has into Fibonacci here. Let's say this is some sort of a one. I mean, this is kind of a hard Elliott wave to kind of thing here. If we're going in a wave here, this is our 1, 2. But this went lower. Hold on, 1, 2. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could try and play around with something like that. So let's just say, I think I did this yesterday and got stuck on it again. I don't know why I'm trying this again here, but we're trying to see if this is basically our 1, 2, and then is this our 3? And then we're maybe retracing to some sort of a 4. Now our 4 really cannot go into our wave 1 area, and that kind of puts it right around our 38. Okay, so let's say we can find support if we get down there. And then we can either do two things, some sort of a double top here, or we can actually get out of that 3 resistance and do some sort of a 5, which could be maybe it's a 1-to-1, or maybe it's actually just a shorter version because 3 should be our longer one, or we actually go an extended 5. So let's just play out a bull case, then we can play out a bear case. So that being said, we know where our 4 cannot go down below, which is right at our 38 fib level. So let's extend from here. So let's say that is the case and we actually come all the way back here. How high can we go? So what would be an extension of wave 3 if we bottom out around here and go higher? So for starters, our 1-to-1 would be around $7,500. Our 786 would be around 73.60. So I'd be looking for somewhere in that area to find our conservative, wave 5 ending. To get a little more crazy, I could go as high as $8,200. Or maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe around 77.65, which would potentially coincide with my MA200 acting as that big resistance line I want to hit and play around with for a while. So actually, I like this more coinciding with no more than here. So I'd even stretch this to here and basically say my bull case can put us anywhere between 73.60 and as high as 77.60. Somewhere in this range here would be a valid kind of cycle there. So I'd be cool with that. But remember, we can even just do a double top here and fail to get above that. So this would be kind of my good bull case scenario there. I think that could be definitely something interesting to look at there. Now, let's talk about a bear case where we've actually done something different here. And what I mean by that is, let's say we're still actually in a bigger downtrend where this was our 1 wave, our 2, this was our long ass 3, and this could be our 4. Remember, as long as our 4 doesn't get all the way up to 77.80 into our 1 range, this could be a still valid count, but maybe we've just come to here and we've topped off. Again, our 2 was very short, so our wave 4 could actually be very long. And then 5. Now, if this is the case and we're actually doing something like this, in a larger, where are you here, ABC, B, C correction, okay? So where could we actually go bearish here? Well, let's talk about an extension of our wave 3 if we actually have topped out on wave 4 here. What are some of the areas we're looking at? So conservatively, we look for something shorter than our wave 3, putting the price potentially at around $5,200. But our 1-to-1 puts us somewhere around $4,700, and our bullish, meaning bearish, extensions here could put us as low as $2,700, which would be an extended wave 5, doing a full 1.786 times our very long wave 3 to begin with. So this is a way that I can use my Fibonacci extension both ways to take a nice bullish position short term. Let me see short term, but a much larger bearish pattern potentially playing out here. And this currently works because our 2 wave was very small. Our 4 wave can be very long, such as we have here. And if we find our bearishness holds, then we could definitely put something like this in play. Now, what does that really mean, and how do we really confirm this is happening? And the real reason is by unable to hold our supports. So right now, these are our supports I'm looking to hold, just as they were when we went bullish here. As soon as this failed, as soon as this failed, as soon as our EMA 12 failed, as soon as my EMA 26 failed, as soon as my EMA 55 failed, then they became very strong resistance ever since. Bear crosses ensued. So again, we're holding above here. I like that. I want to keep the bullish momentum flowing. But that will be a problem if we're unable to hold this support, and that will definitely be something I'm going to keep an eye on. All right, a little pause here. Let me get a sip of my Dunkins, and let me look in the chat room, see what's going on there. All right, hey Wendy, what's up, Carl? Hello, Angel, Chill Spine, Noob Jedi 322. What up, Dan MC? Hello, Expressive. Mac Fallstein, what's up, buddy? Britain F1, B7 Oaks, Cornholio, Kev Clausen, Jeremy Knox. Hello, Jeanette Crypto, Jerome, Marito. Hello, guys. How's everybody doing today? I want to take a look at a couple more things. Thanks for joining me, guys. So much appreciate it. And remember, give me a thumbs up, guys. Got what, 90 live viewers? I'd love to see 90 thumbs up on this video here if you guys are enjoying my content. Okay, so let's take a look at our shorts. Not those shorts, these shorts. So, gaps have been filled. This is great, right? Talked about this for a very long time. Big gap there filled. Gaps here filled. Okay, any new gaps? Let me look on our 4-hour before I go into our daily and see if we put any new gaps in. Looks pretty good. Looks okay. Looks okay. Okay, so I don't see any new gaps. Anything here? Nope. Okay, get rid of my gap zone. That's good to get rid of that guy there. Okay, so what's happening here? So 4-hour chart. MA200 racing up to hold support. Remember, resistance, 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 bullish. And it almost feels like our shorts are coming down here and they're going to test this guy, or maybe they're going to find support in this historic area here. Right there, huh? Actually, it didn't work because we actually topped off there and broke. But the point is here, shorts are liquidating. Shorts did not buy into this recent, yesterday's bull pop of Bitcoin. That's kind of interesting to me. You would have thought they would have continued to load up just as they had all this time here. So what is happening here? A couple things. People that shorted when Bitcoin was at 8,500 and the shorts were down in this area, okay, they're taking profit. Probably they took it along the way, but they're just getting out of their winning trades. A lot of trades here are underwater. A lot of people were shorting at 66, 67, $6,800 and had to take some losses. Some got liquidated and some just cut their losses and kind of scaled out. It's also a very overbought chart. We were really overbought on our RSIs and our other indicators, but now look where we are right now. Wow, 4-hour RSI 16. That's really oversold. That's all-time low. Holy schmoly. So that's noticeable. What's our daily look like here? That's even worse. So our daily shows we're broken 50 and we can come down a lot more there. But I would look for a short-term interim bounce because how low our 4-hour is. That's crazy. So all right, so our shorts are liquidating. You obviously think that did I erase this? You obviously think that the longs are very bullish, right? Because the shorts are liquidating, but not so much. Not so much. This is our long contracts, and again, just not really seeing. Wow, 3 nasty wicks here. 55 EMA rejection. Very interesting here. So our longs really never loaded. I mean, they did a little bit, but they're really done. They're taking money off the table. And they're all holding a higher low here. But even with that nice bullish push there, they're not super excited to kind of ride this out, at least ride out this current correction. So that is definitely interesting here. Kind of basically see how that is going to play out because, again, you would want to see some kind of movement in the long contracts to say, all right, well, bullish move, trends changing. People on Twitter, right, talking about bullish, here we come, right? Well, not so fast. I want to see this kind of show more than what I'm seeing is what I would say. Look at our futures here. This is our CME futures. Live action here. Still have our gap up here, up to 72.64 that needs to be filled. Got a little guy down here that needs to be filled. This has been filled. I know I erased this a while ago. Why do you keep adding it back, TradingView? Nope, that's been filled. That's been filled. All right, so we got these gaps are done. But we have this little guy here around 6,600. Interesting enough, that's 6666, right? I talked about that earlier in the show as an area where I would like to see the lowest place I feel we could reset and still push bullishly higher. Okay, so we have to get up. We will get up here to close this gap at some point. We will get down here to close this gap at some point. The question is, do we go down first to go up, or do we go up first to go down? Either way, at some point, I expect both gaps to be filled because so far, every other gap in the chart has been filled. And I feel that is important because charts normally like the gaps to be filled, especially in actual, stock market charts. Just a quick look here at what's green right now. I see a couple coins. So my ZRX to USD is red, but my ZRX BTC is barely green here. So a very slight bullish divergence on ZRX BTC, but our USD would still be a losing trade. Remember, you have to factor this in. I don't care how bullish the BTC pairing may look on the chart or how it's reacting. If Bitcoin drops, then your USD valuation is going to drop anyway. So you're kind of swimming against stream there, against the ocean, against the current, if you're trying to play alts with a declining Bitcoin price. Okay. What else is bullish? Wow, look at that. EOS USD. Giving back a lot of it though. Nasty wick going on in the daily. But we're seeing bullishness and we're seeing actually bullish divergence on the BTC pairing. Let's pull up our Bollinger and see where we're at here. Yeah, look at that. Okay, you can't get that too high. You can't get that high on the upper BB, break through it without coming back. And sure enough, that's what's going on here. The upper BB is like not so fast. We're going to lasso you back inside. So EOS is bullish. Everything else is kind of in the red. Let's look at a quick alts to see if anything is bucking the trend here. A lot of red. What do we got that's green? Anything? Mana. I like Mana. Been watching Mana for quite some time. Oh, that's nice. This is one that has those quick parabolic moves, and then just gives it all back. Okay. Super bearish chart still. But let's see. OBV. Pretty solid there. But again, OBV is tough to chart in alts just because of how much of it is held by so few. And our MACD daily, really, I mean, from the depth of despair, definitely crossing bullish there. So Mana has a good looking chart here, but remember, it's the BTC pairing here. So we're seeing bullish divergence in it, but it's all has to do with Bitcoin. And keep an eye on this wick here. A lot of days in a row here of bullishness. Keep an eye on this wick here to see how this candle plays out. What else here of interest? SLS, Rad, Musin, nothing. No. So even the ones that are kind of bullishly moving here, nothing super crazy. I don't know what ETP is. I'm not even sure how I have it on here, but must have been one I did a while ago. Look at that, huh? This one's a rocket ship chart. This is a great chart here. So, wow. All right, so interesting. Apparently, I had this fib on it from very long time ago. And interesting. Let's see what areas. Oh, cool. So look at that. We basically found resistance at our 618, and then we found resistance right at our 0.5. And looks like we're racing, Jod, to get to somewhere around our $4 there, our 382. Very bullish chart. Let's see what our volume looks like. Wow, very nice bullish volume here, consistent here, sell off, and this another push here. A little too ahead of its skis here. Look at that. Bollinger break one day, come back in. Bollinger break one day, right? Come back in. Bollinger break 2 days, come back in. One day, come back in. So just play that trend there. As long as our middle BB holds support, which it has here and here, this thing can definitely keep trickling. Let's see. We can do some sort of a count on it. 3, 4. This is 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. So let's, where am I here? BB. Okay, so let's see. One, two, three. Yeah, maybe something like that. Let's just play around here for a second. Which one was more vicious? Maybe one, two, three, four, five, something like that. If that were the case, then what is our five is hitting up at the 618? Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we could have found our completion here because our 5 just hit a resistance right at our 618. So be careful with this one here. A very nice, clean 5-wave pattern. 618 rejection, which is a smaller wave than our wave 3. Best case, I go up to as high as 416, somewhere around, yeah. So interesting. That's how we can use our Elliots combined with our fibs to look for extensions of our waves and get a sense of how much farther, a nice move there can go. So that's interesting. We'll keep an eye on that one there and see how that actually plays out. Back to Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Look at that, back over 7K. All right, so we're getting bought up here in our wick. That's very nice. We're still holding our EMA 55. Quick look here at our 4-hour. Yep, this is our current 4-hour candle. Remember, guys, we're only an hour into this current candle here on our 4-hour. Looking pretty good. So let's see what our hourly just closed at. So our hourly closed at a nice hammer with a good wick. All right, so very good. The question is, this is what's going to happen now. EMA 12, EMA 26, okay, these are our resistance lines. These are our halfbacks, preventing a goal to score. So 70-30, 70-42, okay. Let's see what the price interaction will be like if we can get up here, because this is going to tell the story. Look how much our EMA 12 held the support all the way up, all the way up. And now are they going to be resistance? What was once support, is it going to be now resistance? We know what is our support on our hourly, our 55 EMA, right? But now we're going to get channeled here. So let's see how the price interacts with what's going on here. Remember, our Bollingers were broken. Now we've been able to get back inside on our hourly, which is good. Okay, we went a little too bearish too quickly there, but again, these are now resistance levels we have to break through, especially our middle BB at 7,053. Again, these are very short-term areas here. Let's see what our 4-hour looks like. So we're holding support right at our EMA 12. Very important here. This is very bullish here. So if we want to keep the thing moving here and retest our upper BB, to be very bullish, we got to hold right where we found our hourly support here on our EMA 12. Let's continue moving with that, because if that fails to hold, then that will be a major resistance level there. So far so good on our 4-hour. Nice wick. We're getting bought up here. Volume is coming in. Really not much to see there, but our hourly definitely looks decent because of the nice wick and good looking 2 candles there we have. We also are positioned to cross bullish on our stochastic. Hasn't done it yet. And a good V bottom support there on our RSI. MACD is still trending bearish though on our hourly, and our histogram has also started a new bearish cycle on our hourly as well. So tough to say if we can hold this support. These are my lines I want to keep watching here. Okay, if we can't hold these support areas, our lower BB, especially our 55, because these upper areas have acted as very strong resistance, I'd be very worrisome to see that if we're going higher and think we're going to go lower. Look where our 200 MA is on our hourly. Was major support here, broke very bullish from it, rising up, price rising down, looking for that to touch for support. Again, our 4-hour MA 200. Okay, we got close to it, but not really enough. I would look for this as strong support if we are able to touch it, as well as our middle BB there. So volume will tell the story. If bulls want to step in because they think we've already reset there, we can move higher. Again, there is that gap in the futures that can put us one more bull pop, about 72.50 and change. We don't have to close there. We just have to wick out for that gap to be filled. Then we could go lower. Also, our gap at 6666 that needs to be filled as well. As long as we don't break below 6666, this will still be a very nice bullish chart. The higher we're able to hold, the more movement we can go. One more quick look in the chat room, and I think I'm going to call it a day and grab some lunch. Who else we got here? Let's see here. Mr. L, Burned, Fode. Let's see. Let's see. 105, Carl. Yeah, it's hot out there, isn't it? Oh my God. Wendy, I love you too. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a fan. Uh, let's see. Bogota. Awesome, awesome. What's up, guys? What's up? All right. I'll do a couple alts. Okay, just quickly here. I'll do IOTA, I'll do Nano, and I'll do ETC. Just those three, and we'll call it a day. So IOTA. I know I have that in my alt somewhere. Where are you, IOTA? Okay, IOTA. Okay, so we'll do two. We'll do the USDT and then we'll do the BTC pairing. So very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So finding support on the 12. This is good. But this is very similar to Bitcoin here. Okay, where we're finding support on the 12. We've yet to back test our MA200 on our 4-hour, which acted as resistance. Oh, we actually did back test it here. Oh, this is actually a good looking chart. I like this one. Stochastic is resetting. That's good on the 4-hour. And RSI, yeah, I mean, this got crazy high on our 4-hour, 87. Wow, okay, so it got really high, but look where we're finding support in this historic 4-hour area. Let's go to our daily chart. Quick look at IOTA here. Wow, really just bull break. This was your key. This was a very bullish pattern here in the RSI. Right, this was a very nice pattern here. I like this here. Something like that. Yeah, that was a nice flag there. And then boom. Hitting 60 resistance. Oh, okay. And look at that all-time high on the RSI. That's nice there. Okay. What else we have here? Stochastics. Stochastics. How many days we've been up here? 5, 6, 7, 3. So almost 4 days. Getting a little toppy here. You know, we can be up here for maybe a little longer. MACD has definitely still crossing bullish. A little too bullish here, though. Look how spread our lines are compared to here, compared to here. Okay, remember, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. And our histogram is getting up into historic areas as well. So good, really bullish move here, right? We're going positive in our histogram and look at this volume. Good volume here. Good volume. Currently, we're looking at a spinning top doji here. I want to do a TD count. I want a green 6. So we can definitely flip on this. And because of how high our 4 and 5 are, we could break this pattern pretty quickly if we don't hold these key areas. So I'm bullish on it, but look how we're just so far above our Bollinger on our daily. This needs to chill out a little bit. It's a good looking chart, but this has gone really high here too fast. I would like to see some consolidation. Our Bitcoin pairing, similar, just bullish, but look at outside our Bollinger on our daily for our first our daily candle there outside, and our weekly. Yeah, we're still bleeding out of our red 9 there, but climbing up. Yeah, so there's still upward momentum here that can definitely be moved, but I don't like how overbought we are on lower time frames there. So that's interesting. So that was that one. Oh yeah, Nano, a little Nano there from the Seaman. Nano. Of course, what the heck? Nano. I know I've done it before. Okay, I guess not there. And oops. There we go. So we'll do the USD. How's that sound? So $3. How are we looking here? Oh, nice. Wow, look at that volume, huh? That's some good volume came into Nano this week. Wow. All right, but look at see what was our finding our resistance. Okay, so our middle BB, boom, couldn't break it on our weekly. That is definitely notable. Our daily chart here, back to auto. Yeah, I mean, wow, nice and bullish here. Ah, look at that. We had a perfected 9, and now we're bleeding out bullishly here. This is resetting still. I don't like this candle here. This was another shooting star. We're back inside here. Look for lower supports to be held. I'd wait on this one. I'd wait for lower entries. It's a good looking chart though. You know, as long as we hold above $2, we could definitely go as low as $2. Right? And still be a valid wave there. And then we would shoot for something like that. So there 470, but I'd be looking for a, oh wait, that's too low, that's why. Whoa, there we go, there we go. Yeah, so that would be there, and then something at least back to here, if not to $5. So yeah, definitely a bullish chart in play here, but I don't like these candles here, and I'd like to see a little more of a correction, maybe retest some of these supports before I would take another long position here, because it definitely looks like it could go one more kick higher there. And I will finish up with ETC. Ethereum, the classic, not to be confused with Ethereum. So, red 4, support on our middle BB on our daily is good. Look how tight our daily BBs are getting. That is notable. Haven't yet had a chance to touch our 26 there. Volume is, it's okay. Stoke is still trending bullish. That's good. And our RSI is sub 50, but it and lower high too, but it's hanging in there, so nothing crazy yet. Kind of doing a little cup and handle here on our RSI. All right, here's our cup, here's our handle, and we can go down a little lower, and then I like to shoot up there. So decent pattern here, and yeah, still crossing bullish there in our MACD. So decent move here. If you want to kind of think about this in terms of Bitcoin, I'd look for a bullish test of our upper BB, maybe 14 and a quarter, potentially somewhere in that area. That would be a good bullish target. See what our 4 hours suggest. Green 1. Look at that, huh? When we broke bearish, we held support right at our 55.26 and our middle BB. So that's good. This broke out too bullishly there. So yeah, if Bitcoin can keep it up, meaning keep over 7K, this can turn and keep its momentum going as well. It's all about this middle BB, 1275. If you break 1275, I get really scared, because then I would see this middle BB acting as resistance versus support. But I like the volume. At least this candle is very nice, and the follow through, putting in higher lows, which is good. Note our MA 200 hasn't been touched yet, 1436 and falling. But again, it's all going to be on Big Daddy Bitcoin here. So again, we're looking at our 4 hour. Okay, so we had a very nice hourly. We just closed out, going into our next hour here. And watch this wick. Okay, remember, we're hitting resistance. What was support is now resistance. All right, guys, I think that's a great way to end it. Thank you so much for joining me today, spending some time with me. We were on almost an hour. Please give me some thumbs up. I'm also able to accept tips. Can you believe it? I can accept tips now on YouTube. They've officially monetized me. So if you feel so inclined, really much appreciate that as well. Remember, you guys can find me on Twitter. I am at BigChonis. If you guys have any interest in my personalized mentoring class, please feel free to DM me on Twitter or send me an email, bigchonis@gmail.com. I would love to have you as a student. Until then, guys, stay safe, stay cool out there. Let's wait for some more momentum and some more decision and some more clarification in the price of Bitcoin. Until then, talk to you soon. Big Chonis signing out.